There we go. Let's get everything set up here real quick. If that's the case.
Listen to some music for the time being.
All the monsters hide when they walk in the daylight. Left and right and up and down, I feel them crawl up my spine. Can you feel it now? Can you feel it now?
Some bass right there.
It's what we've waited for.
followers and friends and my viewers. Fully impressed. Pop that sucker in there. Today we are going to talk about programming. So, what we're going to talk about is the Arduino aspect. This video is going to be probably about 30 minutes to maybe 45 to an hour, depending how far it goes. But we're going to get set up here, and I'm going to show you on the aspect of programming. So we're going to get our Arduino set up here, Arduino IDE, and we're going to get to programming a code, okay? So we got some updates. No, because every time I update it, it always wants to change things up and give me issues. So today we're going to go with the input pull-ups. So that is going to be for all your buttons, your levers, your momentary joysticks, okay? And then your push buttons, which we've got here. Also push button here. We've got momentary style toggle switches, which are here and here and here and here, here. Our push buttons also are here and here, here and here. Also, we've got momentary style switches here, which go to the back to the off position. Or actually, those are rotary. That's a rotary switch. I'm sorry. And our rotary switches. So there and here and here. So let me get this camera adjusted and we'll see what I'm seeing on this screen here. The wife and kids went out for the afternoon, so I've got peace and quiet, which is a good thing. So let me get this keyboard moved over and we will get right here adjusted. Hypnotized. So what I'm going to do is get that out of the way. Get you right here. That way you can see the full view aspect. I wish this thing was sitting straight, but it's not. So. Alright, so we're looking at the programming aspect of the Teensy Arduino Plus 2.0. And what we are seeing here is a bunch of letters and programs. So, I'm gonna freaking gnat right here. Kill. Fucking gnat. Come on, land. That was the thing that was bugging me the other day. Where's the little punk at? Okay. So, we've got a constant int. Yeah. So what we see here is a constant int, okay? That's going to be providing constant power. LED pin number 6 on the Arduino. Then we have our void setup, okay? That says put your setup code here to run once. So this is running once every thousandths of a second, okay? So pin mode, LED pin, which is that is going to be an output power source, okay? So that's going to provide constant power for the lighting on pin 6. That is the lighting for the locomotive controller and also the lighting for the radio lights and the locomotive brake controller lights. Now we go to pin mode 1. It is an input pull-up, which is a coding for like a keyboard press. We put horn, white, space, which is horn, is what that is going to be used for, which we have // That makes it obsolete, so we can actually label it, okay? Because if I didn't put the // it would think it's a code. And we don't want that. So horn is the button, white is the wire, space is the button that it is pressing on the keyboard. It is simulating that, press of this space on the keyboard. Then we have CS, which is control stand, which that is on my left side, okay? Then we got pin mode 0. Look at that. That is going to be input pull up. There's going to be the horn. That wire is black. Space is the button we are pressing. DC, which is the desktop control. That is on my tabletop. Okay? That's what sits in front of me. Then we have pin mode 3. Because 2 is going to be obsolete. There is no 2. Come on, you punk. So input pull up. There is no 2. I didn't have on 2 for that. I'd have to move my camera and get the paperwork out, but whenever you see your Arduino, whenever you purchase it, we'll look at that there. So input pull up on 3, that is the alerter. Yellow is the wire. Q is the letter it is pressing, okay? DC is desktop controller. Okay, then we've got the control stand, correct. Okay. I've got the alerter, input pull up 4, alerter, yellow, Q is the letter we're pressing, control stand, that is on my left side. We have our pin mode 5, input pull up, / sander, the color of the wire it is going to the Arduino is orange. X is the button it is pressing. That is on the desktop controller. Now we go to 7, input pull up, bell. Blue is the wire. B is the letter that it's pressing, and that is on the control stand. Okay. We got 8, EOT, emergency end of train device. Purple. Backspace is which is the delete button. Okay, your backspace button, your delete. Okay, now there is a delete and then there is a backspace. So your backspace is on, if I show you here. Your backspace is this guy right here, okay? That is your backspace. That's one thing I like about keyboards is they tell you what I'm looking for. Backspace on the control stand. We've got our sander, orange. X is the number that it's pressing. The letter. Control stand. Short hood lights lead. That is on the front lights of the locomotive. If you're sitting in the cab, the lights that are facing out in the front. Orange is the wire. H is the letter it is pressing. That is on the control stand. Long hood lights green is the wire that we're running. Small h. As you can see, we have a caps lock H and we have a small h. You have to be, because whenever you're running the program on TS 2020, caps lock H is for your front, small h is for your rear on the locomotive, which is the long hood, the back end. Whenever we're referencing to short hood and long hood, this is what we're referencing to. Okay? Let me get my lights on here. Our short hood is this guy here. These is what we call, we've got the short hood in the front. If we're running the locomotive backwards, we are running long hood, okay? Pardon my finger, I scratched it while working. But long hood, okay? So that is going to be the rear lights on the long hood. So we'll get back here. Then we keep on going down. We've got the mic button. That wire is brown. It is pressing O on the control stand. We've got the wipers. That is the cab on the right side, which is inside the cab. My wiper's up here, so that's where you're saying where it's put in. So it's in the cab on the right side, which is up. White is the wire I'm running to the Teensy Arduino. V is the letter we are pressing. Okay, so it's not on the desktop or it's not on the controller. And we've got our step lights, which is yellow. That letter is K, input pull up. And that one I haven't set up yet. So whenever we do our step lights, it's actually going to be step lights down there at the bottom. So our step lights are actually right there. So what we'll see is whenever we run our wires, we've got to run our positive and our negative to that. If you can see everything here, hopefully you can. So we're going to get back to here. So now we're going in with void loop, okay? Which is right here. So whenever you're done with this here, you've got that quotation right there. There's, I don't know what it's called, but that you have to have those quotations because that ends that area of input pull-up and pin modes and stuff like that. So now we're going to go to void loop. Now this loop is going to be running a constant loop multiple times within a second. I'd say quite a bit. I don't know the number, but hey. So put your main code here to run repeatedly. So digital write, we have the comma here or whatever it is. I was not good in typing class. So you'll see these. If you can zoom in on your phone, you can, but it's pretty easy, pretty simple. Okay, you got your parentheses, I guess that's what it's called if that's the case, point being said. We have our LED pin. You've got your apostrophe. You have to have your apostrophe because that ends that. That tells it, okay, it's a LED pin. Apostrophe, now we're reading high. That's saying, okay, provide constant power to that pin. Set the LED on, okay? Now we've got our / horn white control stand, okay? Now we're going to start doing our code. If space, quotation, whatever the heck it is. Oh, man, I hate that. I was never good in English, so or typing class. My teacher's gonna hate me if she sees this video. I said, like, you're my best student. I know. I'm sorry. I'm not. I don't know. It didn't register. But you're gonna have that apostrophe, okay? Your apostrophe, I'm guessing, yes. Apostrophe. Digital read. So D starts with the small, then you go to read with a large R, capitalized R. Then you got your apostrophe 1. That tells me that it is going to be in pin 1. And then we got our apostrophe backwards. Then we got space equals space low. So if digital read 1 is low, keyboard press, okay, we've got that quotations there. Keyboard dot press, capitalize on keyboard. Then we got our apostrophes, key underscore space. That tells it, okay, if I press this horn button down, it is going to read a low signal. It is going to register that there is current flowing through that Arduino to this point here and back to the ground. It is going to emulate the press of the key space. Then we got our end quotation here, which is the dot and the little backwards apostrophe, I guess. Then we delay it with our quotations, our apostrophe, 200 milliseconds. Okay, that is minute. So it's going to be like, click, like that. The amount it takes for you to press that button is 200 milliseconds. That's what it takes. We got our end quotations and apostrophe. Else, keyboard dot, capitalize on the keyboard dot release key space. So, and then we do our end quotation. Okay? So it is saying, if there is a low reading on this, it is going to press that space button, which means if I've got power constantly going through it and I'm pressing it, it is going to constantly press that space, emulating me like pressing the space button for the horn. If there is no power going to it, which says else, it is going to release that. It is not going to cause it to press space. If you put this code in without these input pull-ups, you are going to have this thing reading and jumping all over the place. I will let you know that. Okay? So that's your main thing. So what you do next is you can copy and paste. You can add your / to the horn black that is on the desktop control stand, DTC, desktop controller. If digital read 0 is low, keyboard press key space, delay 200 seconds, else keyboard release key space. So it is all the same, okay? Now we're going to go to our long hood, same thing. If digital read is low, keyboard press key right shift. Okay? So if we're dealing with left shift and right shift, or left shift critical, right shift critical, or left alternate, or right alternate, we are going to have to say if it is the left or the right. So key _ right _ the button is shift. Okay, because if you just put shift, it is not going to know it, is not going to register it. Okay? So key O. Next one. So it's real simple, real easy. Key H, key X. We got our key backspace. Okay? We got our key B, key X, key Q. Still got that guy right there. Ah, you stupid gnat. I love it. It's one thing, these guys, you can notice them whenever they're flying around because you've got gargantuous screens that they're like, oh, I see light. Let me be attracted to it. And they get in your way. So, step lights. You got the wipers on the cab. Delay 200 seconds. Else. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Key B. Oh, golly damn, man. Why can't I catch him? Mr. Right Hand, you should have grown. You could have caught it. So that is that part there. So whenever we get ready to actually have it set up, what we go is writing in the code, okay? And then we check our verify, which is right there, and then you can go upload. Now what I normally do is whenever I'm doing something like this, it is quite fun on that aspect there. I always have my, what is it? Where is it at? Do I have it? No. I have a secondary program running, which is off of, let me see here. Well, if I could find it. I had it here. I don't know what happened to it. Accessories. Where are you at? Accessories. Scan settings. TeamSpeak. Weather. Oh my goodness, what fun. Okay. What in the world happened to it, man? What the heck? Where are you at, you stupid thing? No. Windows accessories. There we go. Now we're going to go to Notepad. So whenever we're testing this, so I press my black button, which is on the horn, and you'll see it. You see that moves, right? I'll press my alerter, and that presses Q, baby Q. I press my emergency EOT, and that is backspace. You see that? It deletes it. If I want to press my bell, I'll press B. You see that? Alerter. I've got my mic, which is a sander. X. I've got my microphone. That presses O. So whenever I want to kick on my mic, so I can press it up and it'll just keep running, right? And I can press my EOT and it'll start deleting. So that's what this program does. It emulates the programming aspect from your buttons and stuff that you're pressing, like on my desktop for the sander. I can hold that thing down and it'll just constantly press X. Okay, I can press the horn, it'll constantly press the horn. I can press the alerter, I'll press Q. So that's how this system works. Now for my lights, You see that? It presses H. I don't know if you can see that. Hopefully you can. But that's how that system works. So you're programming your system to run the way you want it. See, I do my rear short hood lights, and that presses that H. So this is how this program works. It is the key. It's the what's it called? C++ program. That's what you're pretty much doing. So whenever we are running switches and momentary stall toggle switches, this is what it does. If the system is using a keyboard, this is how you can program it to run like a keyboard. Now for the levers, that's totally a different story. So we'll get to the levers here. Okay? So we'll exit here, and what we do is we go to File, and we're going to open Recent. Let's see, edit, open Recent, Sketch, Tools. So they have examples and stuff. So LC, input, pull up locomotive controller. So that's the control stand new. That's the one I've got there. So locomotive controller 5 analog LC. So we'll click on that one, and what that does is that opens up another window. So now we're going to be dealing with the levers, which I'm going to show you here. These are the levers. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. So now we're going to get back up to here. And we're going to get you zoomed in. Now I'm hoping you can see this. I believe you can, if you do have a big enough TV. But this is for analog. These are for your potentiometers. Okay, these are your pot sensors. So whenever I'm running this simulator, I've got one system that is running for the keyboards and the secondary system that is running for the potentiometers. Now for this here, whenever we are running the Train Simulator 2020-2022 from Steam, we are actually using an interface program that is reading these. And also it can read buttons. But since we're using the keyboard for the buttons, we don't have to have that system read the buttons because everything's set via the keyboard already. So it's like me running two keyboards at one time. So the actual system that is running for the locomotive, let me see here. Should kick on. And it doesn't. It does not. Okay. I'm going to have to restart that. But we'll go over that in a little bit. So now, this is for our potentiometers, our pot sensors. This is called locomotive controller, number 5. Analog only, that's the LC. So we have two different teensies. You got a plus plus and you got an LC. Which we can exit out of that because we're not going to set up nothing. So, whenever we put this in right here, we have our // it says put your setup code here to run once. So serial, caps locked, it is a variable. Begin, instant method, it is to begin. Okay. Your amount that it is going to run is 9600. Then we have pin mode. We have 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Then we have pin mode 13. That is actually our pin mode 13 is our lighting. Okay, so A9 is the input. Throttle, the color of the wire is brown. So with your controller here, let me see here. I'm going to see if I can get on something real quick. I'm gonna show you how that's set up. Which we're gonna go to accessories, if I can find it again. Microsoft stuff. Windows accessories. We're gonna go to paint. So the way it works is we go to black. We've got our potentiometer, which that's not a perfect circle. I am not good at this. If it can be a touch screen, perfect. Okay, so let's go back. So we're gonna do our circle here, okay? So we've got our pot sensor, okay? Back. Okay, drawing. Our pot, golly darn it, come on, really? Thickness, seriously, our pot sensor back. So this is our pot sensor. So, P O T. Our pot sensor. So our wire is brown. Now in your pot sensor, you've got 3 little things that stick out. There are 3 little pins. Okay? One is going to be the positive, one is going to be the negative, and one is going to be the reading device. Why did Noah allow gnats on the ark? Literally. Kill that little bastard. So, black, they say, is the ground. That's a lie, it's positive. Okay? But your wires. So whatever power you have going into it, you're going to hook up. So I always say power is red, because that's what you don't want to touch. You don't like touching the red stuff. Okay? Now we've got our lever. I'm going to draw you your lever. Okay? So we have our lever here. Boom. Undo. Oh my gosh, are you serious? Can't draw for shit, Mike. So we got our lever that is right there, okay? So 0 and 100. 1, 0, 0. Okay? So our pot sensor, the way that works is this lever is your reader, okay? This is going to be 0, okay? Which dadgummit. Golly, brush. It's going to be 0, and this is 100. So whenever we're doing our pot sensor, we have 0, which is like, say, our locomotive controller. Okay? We've got our numeric value, okay, which is going to be backwards here, damn it. Back at the shit. Oh my gosh. Come on, exit that. Quit. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 8. Okay. So we've got our notch value, which is 1, or actually 0. Alright, so I have 0, which is off. Okay, 0 whenever this lever is put all the way back there, or whichever way you want it. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 0 is whenever this pot sensor is moved all the way over there, okay? Because it's a flipped up, screwed up thing. I hate that, but sorry. It looks backwards as heck. Let's just say 0 is over here. So whenever this lever is way over here, it is 0. That's what that sensor is reading, because you have actually got the head that turns on this thing. So whenever I've got that lever all the way back over here, it's registering 0. So I pop it to notch 1, click, it runs 10. Pop it to notch 2, click, runs 20. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? And this can be in values very, very small. So that's how these pot sensors work on levers. You can do 0 to 50, you can do 0 to 20, 30, whatever you want. But in the program, that's how it's ran. So that is the joys of doing a pot sensor. These read values of quite a bit. 0 to 125. That's what it's reading. I just say 100, okay? So now on this guy here, we've got serial begin 9600. It is reading that system 9600 times a minute or a second, okay? Quite fast. Pin mode A9 is an input. Throttle, wire is brown. Our pin mode A7 input, that is the reverser, the wire is gray. Pin mode 13, that is an output. That is going to be the LED lighting to controller. That is going to provide constant power, okay? It's an output. We got pin mode 8, input, that's dynamic braking, the color is orange. So whenever we're dealing with the colors, that center one, okay, the center right here, it can be whatever color you want. It can be orange, it can be red. Well, I don't like red, but I always like a negative color. Brown, you can do green. Green is meant for ground, but you can do blue. Blue is good. Okay. You can do white or gray. Gray is a good color. Running your wires, because what you don't want to have is 2 reds or 2 blacks. You'll get confused. But always on your pot sensors, you have your positive and your negative, okay? You have your positive and your negative. Okay? Then you've got your read. R. Okay? This guy says, okay, this guy's rotating through there. It's reading what that sensor's set at, okay? It does jump a little bit, but not major. And we'll get into that whenever we deal with the programming aspect, okay? But these are what your pot sensors run. You've got 3 little sticks that go out there. Now you can have rotary switches that do somewhat the same thing, but that's different, okay? So on your input, pin mode A6, train air brake, that is green. You see that? I got green there. We've got green. So we want that guy to be, that center one to be green. We like him to be green. That way it's nice and pretty. Okay, we're going to use multiple colors in here. Just that one wire. Whatever color you choose, you're going to label it. Okay? So, right up here, train horn, air brake, green. And then I got pin mode A5, input, locomotive, air brake, blue. Now we go down to end that. That is going to end that code to run once, because it's going to read it. Then we go void loop. Now it's going to be registering what this code is reading. If it is 0, it is going to read 0. If it's at full 100%, it's reading 100%. If it's reading 35, 25, 25.3, 25.22687, it is going to read that. Whatever numbers it reads, okay? It will read. Whatever that lever is set at, it will read. Okay, which is down here. It is going to read that. That's what that next phase. Okay? So input main code here to run repeatedly. it is void loop. We got a parentheses or space, begin, joystick, caps lock, joystick is up lowercase, dot, Z. We got a parentheses, analog read, A9, / then we, okay, that's my throttle, the wire is brown. So you have axes on joysticks. There's axes Z, X, Z rotate, Y rotate. There's other ones, but the ones that I chose is Z, X, Z rotate, joystick slider, which is the analog read. Okay, so analog read A7, that is reverser gray, joystick dot caps lock Z rotate. Okay, parentheses, analog, capitalized read, or capitalize that R. If you do not, it will not register. You want it to turn orange. You want these guys to be orange. If they're not orange, you're running something wrong. Okay? So, analog read A8, / that ends that saying, okay, it's done, finished. We're going to go to the next one. We got our / is there. Dynamic break orange. Okay. Slider. So we've got a slider because you've got multiple sliders. Slider 1, slider 2 in the programming aspect that the computer reads. So joystick Y. So you've got X, Y, Z. Okay. Then you got Z rotate and then slider. Then we have at the very bottom, you'll see digital write. That is totally different from everything else in here, right? Okay. That is just saying, okay, we're going to be constantly providing power here. It's going to digital write. It's going to provide power to it. It's going to be 13 as the pin. As we saw a pin up there, 13. That is the output pin. It is going to register high. It's going to provide power to that pin, which means it's going to stay constant. / that tells me, okay, we're saying it is something. Okay, we're giving it a title. LED to throttle and dynamic brake and radio. Okay, that's the LED light to the throttle, to the dynamic brake, and also the radio. Okay, if you wanted LED light, you could put in there light. I always caps lock everything. LIGHT. To throttle. You can put your throttle space. And put you can put that there. Okay. Throttle and dynamic braking. And the radio. You can take off the and if you wanted to. I always give space, dynamic braking, and radio. Okay? So that's how that is done. So always save it. Whenever you want to do it, you can save perfectly fine. I'm not going to because I don't feel like screwing anything up. But this is your coding for the Arduino on that. So exit out of that. Do you want to sketch? No. Cancel. Save? No, I don't want to save it. Okay. So that's how your pod sensors are ran whenever you do these guys. Just save? No, we don't want to save it. Back to our input pull-ups here. Our switches. Controller. Which one is this one? Is this pin mode? Input, pull up, ditch light screen, okay, pin mode, input. So yeah, that was the other one there. Okay, let's exit out of that. But that is that there. So control stand new, I had to completely redo the thing, so that's why I did that. But this is your programming aspect here. And it's not very hard. So if we look here, I'm going to show you in the locomotive controller our input pull-ups. and our pot sensors, how they're wired. Okay? We're at 45 minutes. Told you it would take about 45 minutes to an hour to explain everything. Get our lights on here. So, these are our pot sensors. You see those 3 wires. You got your positive, which is red. You got your orange, which is that reader. And then you got your ground. That's that excess electricity going back off to the ground system, okay? So your reader is always in the middle. That is always going to be your color-coded wire. That goes straight to the Arduino, okay? The other ones, they go to the power source, which that power source is looped, okay? That power source is providing constant power to those guys. You've got your blacks and your browns, and you got some oranges and colors and stuff there, but you see those? Those are your resistors and your power supplies for the lighting. That's your pin mode 13, that yellow and green, okay? You got black going off to the ground, okay? So, whenever on this pot sensor here, as you can see the colors, we've got that red and that black, which is that positive in the ground. And we've got that brown, that's number 2 in that reader. If you look up that, you can get these pot sensors off Amazon. They're about $7 or $5 a piece. So, there's another pot sensor back here, same way. When that guy runs down here, okay, we got wires that run down there, which those are the brown and black, and then we got the other wire coming up. That is the gray. Correct. So, pot sensors for this system here, same thing. Oh, somebody touched that. Now, whenever you get your locomotive controller, you've got to figure out which wire is the pot sensor on these things, which is pretty simple because you got 3 wires coming out, you see? You got your 1, you got your 2, and your 3. So figuring out which one reads it's not hard. You can actually get a wire tester, pop one to positive, and see which one's reading a reading. It's not hard. Very simple, very easy. That's your pot sensor right there. That's that guy. So it is a little bit different. You can get these off of eBay if they do mess up. They are a little bit hard to find. But I've got that guy saved. Same thing on this one, which I marked my ground wire, which is green. Green is ground. So always mark your ground wire as green and whatnot, or something, if that is the case. Brown, positive, yeah. So green wire is the reader, okay? Green wire is the reader. And then we've got our color-coded wires here. I got our black, and we got our that. And blue wire is the reader. As we can see, the green and the blue are the readers. We've got a red and the black, so that's positive and negative. So that is that there. Wiring aspect on your switches, you can see we've got power going in and power going out. That goes to the Arduino. Same thing on these guys. You see you got power going in, power going out. So power is going into there. It goes off into the power. Yes, yes, yes. Which goes to the Arduino. So if it reads that input on high, power going into it, it's going to register it. So that's how you guys are set up pretty much. It's not hard. It's very simple, very easy. 2 wires on all your switches. This guy's not hooked up yet, but he will be whenever I write that code. And that is going to be a horn sequence code. I'm looking that up currently. But you've got your looped. You see your 2 wires coming in the bottom. And you just loop it. That's why you can actually press it up or down if you want that horn to work. Or you can just have it coming in on the bottom. That's very, very simple there. So, for these guys, these are rotary switches. So the way I did it was, whenever I've got power source coming into here, he's obsolete. He's going to be the fan. But I'll provide power to a fan. So 2 wires, they go in, one side, the other side, and then it loops off. Boom, 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 boom. That way it acts like a switch. But those are pretty much the same. You see that how it's looped? Bloop, bloop. So it acts like a switch on all 4 rotations. So it's not hard to do that there. You got a toggle switch here. That's a momentary style toggle switch. You see, it goes back to the closed position. This is the actual momentary stall toggle switch. So whenever it's not pressed, it just does that. Which there's one built in right here. That's for that. I've got to get that wired in. But it does take time on these things. Yes, it does. So there's other wires and stuff for switches and knobs that are here on the front of this locomotive controller, or the brake controller, which are these guys. You see that? It's momentary stall switch. You've got this guy here. That's a rotary switch. Pretty much it there on that part. But you see this guy? That's the switch to release the brakes. So I've got to wire that because it actually is functionable for Run 8. So that's what I want. But yeah, this thing does have projects and stuff like that I've got to still keep on going little by little. But my main thing is running it the way I want it on that part. As you can see, we got LED lights in here. So all your wires go to, for your push buttons, go to the Arduino right here, which I've got paperwork on them. I'll show you. So you've got your two Arduinos. Sorry for moving so much, but I've got to show you here. The Arduinos that you are using is going to be the Teensy Arduino Plus. That is a longboard one. This is for all your buttons, your momentary switches, your push buttons, your rotary switches, your momentary style toggle switches. Okay? This guy here, this is the Teensy LC. It is a smaller one. Now these guys, you can get the pins with them fabricated in. I do have one without pins. I accidentally got it, but I always like the one with the pins that are already welded in there. That way you just hook up your wires and go with it. But these things tell you what it is. You've got your ground, and then you got your positive 5 volt. You see that right there. Then you got 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You've got a secondary 3.3 volt power source that you can add to it. Ground also. You've got there is another 5 volt plug, which is somewhere. See pin mode 13 right there on the bottom right? That's your LED lighting. As you remember, we put that into the code. On that guy, that's for the levers, okay? So these things tell you how they work, okay? So LED, which is ground, and then you got your 5 volt VCC. We got grounds under there. We've got another your LED pin, which is pin mode 6. Okay. This is for your plus plus. Pin mode 6 is your LED light that provides constant power. Okay. Ground. So these things are pretty amazing. I like them. They are fun. They do come with stickers that they put on there that you got to take off, and it's a booger. Somewhat upset me. But you do have a optional 5 volt down here that you can put in. So if you needed more power source to something else, you could do that. So, but these things, they hook up via USB. And they're, I believe, your C-type. Or your, whatever it is. But it does come with a wire with it, so don't worry. Alright. But this is your programming for the Teensy Arduinos. The systems you'll be using to program your locomotive controller. So, as you can see, I've got some batteries inside there for my lights. Because my lights are actually miniature mini LEDs. And what's cool is I'd gotten these, my wife got them actually. And the way they do it is the wires, you see that they're like, oh my goodness, they're touching, right? Well, they're actually coated with some type of plastic. I figured out because I ruined a set of hers accidentally. Sorry. No tamales. I cut the wire. I'm like, oh crap. Oops. It broke it. I didn't figure out that there was a plastic coating on it. So I cut the plastic coating and then I wired the lines to the switch down there, as you can see in the center right there at the very bottom. That's my switch that provides power source to these lights. So whenever I go turn them on and off, it's like a switch. So they ran off of 4 AA batteries, which last a long time. You can actually get ones that recharge if you wanted to. But you see that, how that turns off. Boom, boom. So that's a totally different setup there. So, because what I didn't want to do is have multiple lights being ran on these things causing issues. But that is your coding for the Arduino on the locomotive controller. Your analog and also your input pull-ups. Okay. See, I put a screw down there because I knew my kids were going to want to touch this thing and mess with it. But that is a beautiful ET44C4 locomotive. And we've got one behind it that is the ES44C4. Yes, ES44C4 locomotive. If I can zoom in, let me see it, add some light to it. Bloop. Oh no. Yes, zoom in. Yes, the ES44C4. And the way you can tell is the radiators. That guy's got a broken handrail that I got to get fixed on it. I got this from a hobby store in Houston. Man, but that thing is beautiful. I can't wait to weather it. Man, it's going to be a fun job. So, that is there on the Arduino aspect. So that is it, honestly, for that. Now, if I can get this thing to run for me, I don't know why it's not running. It's not wanting to kick on. It's not. No, it's not. So, we'll do that another day. But, fucking bug, I love it, man. Come on, you stupid gnat. That's it there, pretty much. That's it, honestly, for today. But I got some, did some videos on Run 8 the other day. I got another one coming in. I'm gonna run some trains tonight. I'd love to, depending what time it is. 8:19. Oh my goodness! Praise the Lord. Okay, we're gonna probably have to get set up here. I'd like to play maybe for an hour. So yeah, we'll probably do that. Because I know we're going to have that dispatcher calling me. That dispatcher is going to be saying, BNSF 4178. Over. We'll have some music here. That's a pretty cool song.
All the monsters hide when they walk in the daylight. Left and right and up and down, I feel them crawl up my spine. Can you feel it now? Can you feel it now? Hate to make you sit and rest my feet up in the windows. Coming at this from my ankles, bullets through the window. And we feel it now. We feel it now.
Nobody's on.
It's what we've waited for. Wake up, sleepy, sleepy head. The monsters in your closet, caught inside your head. Now you gotta get up out of bed before they make themselves at home, knock you up inside your bones. Oh. Both eyes getting kind of vacant. My mind, son of innovation, so time, need my new replacement. No lie, you got me locked up deep into my basement. No head for your entertainment. Now I know I gotta face it. No lie, you got me. Eyes locked upon the clock, both hands moving too fast, but never fast enough. These dancing little circles, perfect paradox, lead me down never-ending halls, labyrinthine these walls. Both eyes getting kind of vacant. My mind, son of innovation, so time, need my new replacement. No lie, you got me locked up deep into my basement. No head for your entertainment. Now I know I gotta face it. No lie, you got me.
Well, we got an intermodal sitting here. I'm wondering where he's going to be going. We might take him tonight.
The battle's coming now. The fury shakes the ground.
No read, I mean.
I've come to take my crown. I'm rising up, my heart is pounding. in and breathe you out. We built them under in the clouds. Lay you down. Body language on me tells me to be unholy. I'm not religious, but you got me speaking in tongues. I hope God's not one to judge, that I can make you confess your sins to me. Just be quiet when you scream. I can tell you kinda like it. I don't think we need to hide it. It feels good when we don't fight it. I'll be gone before the night ends. I can tell you kinda like it. I don't think we need to hide it. It feels good when we don't fight it. I'll be gone before the night ends. Body language on me tells me to be unholy. I'm not religious, but
All right, here we go. Let's see. I don't know if anybody's playing yet, but that dumb bug, I hate that thing. Golly darn it. So we're gonna find myself here real quick. We're on the BNSF sub, so I've relinquished the train. We're in the yard. But we've got a red light. That's the thing. There we go. There I am. Alright, so we are going to request signal off of here. We're gonna get you lined up. Man, it's a parking lot out there. Son of a gun. Shoot. We'll be dispatching some trains today. I don't know where you're going, but okay, we'll find out. West, we're going east. We need a Jake, how about run 8? Okay. Well, Jake's on, is here live at the staff room. Need a dispatcher. Alright, we're gonna get a green light here. We'll get you off into the main there. Depending what we see here, man. I'm hoping I'll like yeah, that's where I'm at right there. Let's see. We do have a green light, so we are going west. Never eat soggy waffles. What have they got me listening to? So that's there. We're gonna get our run 8. Okay. Alright. Get our volume set up here if that's the case. I wonder. Curious what we got going on here. Yeah? Alright. Main volume if that is the case. What the hell? Why is my volume down? That's there. Volume set up high. I'm supposed to be hearing a rumbling sound right now, and I don't hear it. Look at this. Why is my volume so low? Oh, that is why. There we go. Okay, now we're rolling. So we are going to release the brakes. Forward there. Pop it in notch one, start pulling on it. That is it, boys. We're gonna drive the trains for an hour. I'm just gonna have a little bit of fun and get this video uploaded. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for your support. Send this off to your mother, your granddaughter, your aunties, aunts, and uncles, your stepsisters, and your sons, the cat, the dog, and the monkey.